Ahoy there, mateys. We are going to jump right into 6.2, which is comparing and ordering integers. And by ordering, I don't mean like ordering on DoorDash. I mean like putting them in order. And we're going to do that on number lines. So let's jump right into it. So let me shrink myself. No! Okay, here we go. So of the number lines graphed on the number line below, which is the greatest, which is the least, and how do you know? Basically, the further the number is to the right on the number line, the bigger the number is. And the further it is to the left, the smaller the number is. So the smallest number on this list, of the dots anyway, is -6. So -6 is the smallest, and 3 is the greatest, represented on this number line. So there we go. So basically, you put it on a number line. If it's further to the right, it's greater. Further to the left, it's smaller. Now your turn to practice. Okay, so like point A, that's just right at 0. So that's neither positive nor negatives. This is right at 0. Point B, where's point B? Yeah, point B is at -4. Point C we have here at 3. Where's the location of point D? Point D, a little trickier. It's right between 5 and 6, so it's 5.5 or 5.5 if you love decimals. Where's point E? Yeah, point E is -6. It's the smallest of these numbers listed here. And finally, where's point F? So it's a little bit trickier because it's right between the -1 and the -2, making it -1.5 or -1.5. So this is how number lines are used to represent positive and negative numbers. Some of these are not integers, so like F and D are not integers, but you can still put non-integers on a number line. In fact, I think that's all what 6.3 is going to be about. So time to practice some more. So for all of these that ask you to compare or put numbers in order, it's super helpful to make number lines. Okay, so hopefully you have some scratch paper or a whiteboard handy. So try to compare 2 and -6. All right, so if you were to graph them, you'll see that -6 is down here and 2's over here. It's on this the right-hand side of 0. Therefore, 2 is greater than -6. So here's another example. Compare -5 and -3. Okay, this one you can also do if you love vertical number lines instead of horizontal number lines. You can do that too. So this is like thermometers, are vertical. So here's 0, and then remember you're counting close to 0 is -1, and then -2, and then -3, and so on. So -5 is actually smaller than -3 because it's further, in this case, below, or if you had a horizontal number line, it'd be further to the left. So now you're going to answer these ones. And again, it may help to work them out on a number line, or at least picture a number line in your head. Okay, compare 1 and 0. Yeah, 1 is greater than 0. Compare 0 and 5. 0 is less than 5. Compare -14 and 0. -14 is less than 0. What about -5 and 5? -5 is less than 5. What about 2 and -2? 2 is greater than -2. And the last one, what about -5 and 2? -5 is less than 2. Okay, if you missed some of these or you're not sure why you got them wrong, make sure to get help on these. This is kind of the foundation for everything that we will be doing for this and the next and the upcoming activities. So if you are not sure why you missed any of these, make sure to ask me for help or see Mrs. Rude in the ASC and she can help you out. Sometimes you'll also be putting numbers in order. And again, this is super easy to do if you have a nice number line that you're putting these little dots on. So put these 5 numbers in order from least to greatest. All right, so again, if you graph them, they're nice and in order for you. So -4 you'll see is the least, and then -3. Oh, doesn't have a dot there, so it's not one of our points. -2 though is, and then -1, and then 0, and then finally 3, which is our only positive number, is last. That is the greatest of all of those numbers. Okay, the number line, this is sometimes a little thinker. You got to do some thinking on some of these. A number line is greater than a number 9. A number is greater than -8, and it's less than 0. What is the greatest possible integer value of this number? Remember, integer means it can't have a fraction or a decimal. It's just a whole number, positive or negative. So what is the greatest possible integer value for that situation? All right, so out of those choices, in fact, just in general, it's got to be between -8 and 0. Here you go. And it says it's less than 0, which means it can't be 0, which means -1 is the closest you can get without going over. So -1 is that value. So C, if you pick that one. And finally, this is applied to some temperatures here. So the diagram shows the coldest recorded temperature for several cities in the state of Virginia. So taking a look at that map there, which city has the coldest recorded temperature? Yeah, so out of those, if you, and again, put this on a little number line, either vertical or horizontal, it doesn't matter, you'll notice that Richmond is further to the left, or if you did a vertical number line, further to the bottom. Therefore, Richmond is the coldest of all of those. And then the second question is, has a negative Fahrenheit temperature ever been recorded on Wallops Island? Well, it's hit 0, but 0 is not negative. 0 is not positive, it's just 0. So it has never actually had a negative temperature on Wallops Island. Good for the folks in Wallops. All right, so that is your introduction to how to graph integers and even non-integers on number lines. And you can do vertical, horizontal, doesn't matter. Just make sure that you number and scale your number lines correctly. And if you need any help, see me or email me or see Mrs. Rude in her ASC link through Clever. And good luck as you work through big ideas. I'll see you during the next live session. Arr!